I'm getting ready to show you how to quilt area 8 of the BERNINA Rulerwork Quilt-along, and I've already marked my channel, and since I'm on a long arm, I'm not rotating my quilt top obviously, but I'm going to be stitching out that design. Now this design takes a little bit of time because you have to change rulers a lot, but it creates a lovely little pattern. I probably wouldn't do it as an overall fill, but it's a nice little focal point. So I've already created a mark that goes straight up my quilting area there. And if you consult your PDF, it will tell you where to make the little marks to start the circles. So I'm going to quilt about a ½ inch up using my straight line ruler. And I'm going to do a few stitches very close together before I go at my normal stitch length. And then I'm going to switch. Now, you've seen that I've been doubling up my rulers to give me more stitching or more surface area and more contact with the fabric. But in this case, I'm going to be changing out the rulers a lot, so I'm not going to double them up just because I'm feeling a little bit lazy. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to complete the circle by putting in this little puzzle piece. And this circle is number 2. It's a 2-inch inner circle. And so I use the number 2 on this little cross key that they give you with the rulers. So I'm going to tape it just like this. Here's my piece of tape. I'm not going to push very hard on this. I'm just going to be careful as I go around. So I'm not going to tape it to death because I'm going to change my configuration in a minute. Now, to ensure that my circle is centered on this line, I'm going to consult these little crosshair marks and make sure they're right on the line, and I'm going to stitch all the way around the circle. I'm going to have to hold pretty firmly because I don't have a double circle reinforcing the ruler. Okay, so now I'm going to stop, and I'm going to change out my circle for a smaller circle. Oh gosh, you know, when I did this, I did the smaller circle not down here, but up here. So I'm actually going to stay with this size circle and get up to the top before I change out my circle. So let's go all the way to the top. Sorry about that. Okay, so now I'm at the top and I'm going to change out my circle. So this time, to create a full circle, I'm going to use the number 1 marking because I have the number 1 ruler here. This is going to create an inch circle if I was stitching around the inside of the circle. And I can tell that because the opening measures 1.5 inches. So if I subtract 1/4 inch from each side, I will get an inch circle when I stitch this out. So I'm going to put my tape on like this, and I'm going to go all the way around this circle. Okay, till I come back up to the top. Now, I'll show you what that looks like. See, isn't that pretty? I love this look. Okay, so now I'm going to quilt using my straight line ruler right up to the next mark. Okay, now I'm going to use my bigger circle first. You might ask how you would do this if you didn't have an opening in your circle. If you didn't have an opening in your circle and you weren't stitching an external circle around the ruler, you might have to stop and start the thread each time. And that's why it's kind of nice sometimes to have an opening depending on what design you're doing. Sometimes I like having the circle completely closed. Sometimes I like it open. It just depends on the task I have before me. Now, I'm going to make sure that this circle, using this crosshatch here, is centered right on that marked line I drew earlier. So all the way around the big circle, but remember, I decided to make the small circles at the top of the big circle, so I'm going to keep going all the way around until I get to the top. And then I'm going to switch to the smaller circle and the number 1 side of this little cross. The numbers are very convenient. Okay, so now I'm going to stitch all the way around again, back up to the top. And then it's time, whoops, sorry about that. It's time to switch to my straight line ruler again, and I'm going to stitch up to the next starting point. And that is how you complete this row.